What's up everyone, Ian here. I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys through some med ball progressions. One of the things that we often see when people are performing some med ball exercises is they have an inability to kind of get into their hip, which doesn't allow them to really load their hip and actually drive. For the majority, obviously you can change the intent of the exercise, but for the majority of these exercises, we're really trying to have the hip actually deliver the hand. So if you think about a baseball player hitting a baseball, or really most athletic endeavors, you're really gonna have your hips driving the power. The other thing that we often see is people being limited in their thoracic spine, which is gonna not allow them to actually maximize their rotation. So what we wanna see with a lot of these exercises is both of those two things. The ability to actually get some thoracic rotation, to actually get into their hip, and to drive the hip into the wall, which is gonna actually deliver the ball. So let's start off with just the most basic one, which is really just gonna be stationary, driving into the wall. Okay, so first and foremost, if you need to, just like anything, give yourself a breath, really set your rib cage down and in, kind of get some tension within your core so that we're able to really transfer that power. So from there, we can start off in any stance, but let's just be nice and straight right now. And what I want you to do is as you sit back into your hip, I'd like to see your knee stay over your ankle and even be able to get my head really in line with all these things. So these should be relatively in line. I should feel a nice little sensation in my hip, and I can maybe spend 10 seconds here with that thoracic rotation. Notice that it doesn't have to take my head and my knee. I lock that in, and then from there, drive off. Okay, so I'm really extending my hip and driving into the wall. What I don't want is to just throw it and leave my hip behind, which is very common. So you can see there's really not a lot of hip. When someone really gets it right and they wind into it, you'll be able to throw it a lot harder and you'll almost hear it immediately. So that would be our first progression that we can really work off of. We want everybody to really have that down. Biggest thing, feel the right sensations, a little bit of wind up. You can even take this right elbow and drive down and basically coil up into that lat and hip, and then lengthen explosively into the wall. So that's our first progression, just a standard med ball rotational scoop right into the wall.